for game number 2 of this afternoon's season opening doubleheader between the Tigers of Georgetown College and your Fighting Saints. This time, if you have your pencils and scorecards ready, I'll give you the starting lineups for game number 2. Leading things off in center field, number 8, Peyton Young. Batting second, the designated hitter, number 40, Jose Cazorla. Batting third at third base, number 2, Jared Chapman. Hitting fourth, the left fielder, number 42, Keanu Suarez. Batting fifth at first base, number 47, Aiden Jabara. Batting sixth in right field, number 5, Ilya Burge. Hitting seventh at second base, number 11, Cole Grable. Batting eighth, doing the catching, number 10, Jacob Von Thaden. Hitting ninth, the shortstop, number 6, Luis Sosa. And on the mound, number 14, Chad Baker. Starting lineup for your Fighting Saints in game number 2, leading things off in center field, number 12, Mitch Thomas. Batting second, the designated hitter, number 3, Alex Martinez. Batting third at first base, number 31, Nate Maliska. Hitting fourth, the third baseman, number 32, Drew Dant. Batting fifth in right field, number 34, Jake Kleposh. Hitting sixth, doing the catching, number 22, Jake Murda. Batting seventh, playing left field, number 26, Cliff Vickers. Batting eighth, the shortstop, number 21, Brian Hidalgo. And hitting ninth at second base, number 1, Max Montgomery. On the mound for the Saints in game number 2, number 23, Sean Mahalik.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 of this two-game series, this two-game Sunday series between the visiting Georgetown Tigers and your St. Francis Fighting Saints. I'm Jake DiLorenzo on the call with you today at Slammer Stadium in Joliet, Illinois for the games that were supposed to be played in Kentucky, but then because of snow in Kentucky got moved back here to Joliet. So St. Francis wasn't anticipating on playing a home baseball game until later this week on Wednesday. There was their last game before they leave to go on their big spring break trip down to Georgia that they do every year. So instead, we're playing 2 games on Sunday here at the stadium. And on the mound for the Fighting Saints is a guy that we talked about a lot last game as, you know, the bell cow of this pitching staff. It's going to be Sean Mahalik, son of head coach Brian Mahalik. You know, we saw it a lot last year. Ryan Daly was the go-to guy for this St. Francis staff. However, Sean Mahalik turned in some very quality outings, or some really, really good outings for St. Francis's Peyton Young, sends this one into left field. Cliff Vickers underneath it, and he'll bring this one in for out number 1. So Sean Mahalik this year has only thrown once. He threw the first game of the Freed-Hardman trip in Tennessee. He threw 6 innings, struck out 5, and only gave up 2 hits, no earned runs. Opponents hit 111 against him, and he's off to a good start here. But we'll see what happens when he sees Jose Cazorla, who really, I mean, he put Georgetown on his back last game. He went 3 for 3. He had 2 RBIs. I mean, he was just their go-to guy. You know, when they needed RBIs, they went to him. But Mahalik, palm strike one there. Sean's a graduate student. Been here all 5 years, as that one's grounded to Hidalgo, fires the first. That's the first time that Cazorla has been retired this entire day. But Mahalik, the graduate student, been here all 5 years. Has made a name for himself in this rotation and is looking to really put together his best year yet. Jarrett Chapman in the 3-hole today. We saw him last game. He was sitting in the 9-hole last game. Lineup has switched around just a little bit, with 2 new players appearing in this one for Georgetown. Lineup is pretty much the same, except for the catcher. Suarez is actually in left field now as Hidalgo misses a ground ball. Chapman rounds first. He's not going to go anywhere, but tough error by Hidalgo, something that you don't normally see a lot from him. Normally a very clean infielder, but we look at the lineup that Georgetown sends out here today. The 2 differences, the 2 new faces, is Jacob Von Thadden, a catcher from Tampa, Florida, is making his debut here in Joliet, or making his debut, or his Joliet debut, rather. And then Luis Sosa, number 6, is handling the duties at shortstop. Cole Grable moves over to second. And that's about all. But up now is Keanu Suarez. We saw him at catcher. As I mentioned, they had him in left field today. So a little bit of moving around for this Georgetown team here in game number 2. So runner is on first. Suarez swings and misses. We should get the sun to drop here. Yeah, the further we get into this game, but that ball lined sharply to Hidalgo. Nice play, fields it, and hits Montgomery at second. Fighting Saints retire 3 batters here in the top of the first inning. We go to the bottom of the first, score set at 0-0. We will get more information on the starter for Georgetown, number 14, Chad Baker, when we come back. But as of right now, score sits 0-0 with the Fighting Saints looking to come up and do some damage. So back here for the bottom of the first inning, after a scoreless top frame for Georgetown, we finally see the Fighting Saints back up at the plate, led off by, of course, number 12, the center fielder, Mitch Thomas. Thomas last game led off with a home run, and you look at the lineup sent out there by head coach Brian Mahalik. It is the same exact lineup that we saw last game, so no real differences, other than Sean Mahalik, of course, being on the bump. That one misses low as well. Chad Baker, a senior right-handed pitcher, standing 6'1", 170 pounds, out of Northport, Florida. repping the short sleeves, too. That's a bold move, especially in this weather. That one gets inside the hands of Mitch Thomas. Count moves to 2-1. Thomas grounds one to third. Chapman fires, makes a nice play. You got to get rid of the ball quick with a guy like Thomas running down the first baseline, and that's what Chapman did, made a nice play. And there's one away, and now it's Alex Martinez. 0 for 4 last game. So last year, Chad Baker, my apologies, starter for Georgetown here today, appeared in 14 games, started 12. He went 3-7 over 51 innings. He gave up 46 earned runs for an ERA of 8.12. Was victim to the long ball 3 separate times. He walked 30, struck out 43, and gave up 63 hits. So this is a guy that's ERA is a little bit high. He's only been here for 2 years, or this is his second year. So last year was his first year at Georgetown. So he's trying to make a name for himself at this school. Previously at St. Petersburg College in Florida. Martinez swings and misses. And Baker's going to have his first strikeout of the day. So 2 away here with Nate Maliska now set to step up to the plate. Maliska had a base hit last game. We'll see what he can do here against Chad Baker here in the first. First inning of game 2 of this doubleheader. As I mentioned, Fighting Saints are back here. Well, they were actually supposed to play their first home game last Wednesday, the 19th, but due to it being 13 degrees outside, maybe even a little bit colder than that. Nice play by the second baseman. Grable moved over from short. Jabara made a nice scoop, and just like that, the Fighting Saints are out here in the bottom of the first inning. We head to the top of the second. Score is still 0-0. Oh, there we are. Aiden Jabara set to lead off this top of the second inning for Georgetown. Take strike 1 there. Jabara went 0 for 4 in the contest earlier today. Grounds one towards third, but it will be a foul ball. Swing and a miss. Sean Mahalik sets another one down. And there's quickly one away here in the top of the second. Now, he had 5 strikeouts in his first outing at Freed Hardman. And then you look at what he's doing now this year. Or, like, you look at this game. He's already got 2 strikeouts today. Or correction, that was his first strikeout. I don't know what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. I really don't. That one hit high and deep to left field. Elijah Verge rounding first. He's going to head towards second. And he's going to have the first base hit of the day for Georgetown. What I was talking about with Mahalik is that he's seemingly added some stuff to his mix to get more strikeouts, because he wasn't a big strikeout guy last year. I think we could all, you know, look at the games and kind of come to that conclusion. But if he's able to make people swing and miss like he did at Freed Hardman, if he's able to do that for the continuation of this season, I think that, you know, you're looking at another really, really good piece to this St. Francis, you know, to the history of St. Francis pitchers the last couple of years. You know, it's not easy to take the, you know, to have the torch passed to you from a guy like Ryan Daly, you know, and to, you know, try and live up to those expectations that people have of you, the, you know, the labels that they're putting on you, you know, as this next guy. But Sean has done an amazing job, especially last year. You know, when Ryan didn't pitch, you know, you almost didn't know what you were getting into. It was going to be just a grind. Like, you know, it was going to be a very, I'm trying to think of the word to use here, but either way, it was going to be a grind like all baseball games were. But Mahalik really stepped into this role of being a certified, you know, second man up in this rotation, and really made people kind of, you know, shake their heads when they had to face Daly or Mahalik. And I think that was it's a really good thing for this St. Francis team, that they have another arm like that they can go to when they need it. You know, they can depend on him to go out and just throw really good baseball games, and that's exactly what Mahalik did last year. And I know that that's what he's being expected to do this year, and he's done a good job of it so far. Mahalik steps off. Great play by Mahalik there. And Verge gets picked off. So now there's 2 away here with Cole Grable. Count is still 2-2. And he got him looking. Sean Mahalik, second strikeout of the day. And just like that, the Fighting Saints have erased a threat at second base and have gotten a strikeout on the very next pitch. Score is still 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. See what the Fighting Saints can do with the bats. Back here from Slammer Stadium in Joliet, Illinois, as Drew Dant steps up for the Fighting Saints in the bottom of the second to try and get something going for this team that was stagnant from the second half of the last game up until now. I know we're only an inning into this game, but still, an offense that normally moves really, really well looked like they couldn't really do anything against the pitching of Georgetown last game. So Dant takes the pitch, 1-0. And now a strike, 1-1 to the fifth-year man out of Highland, Illinois. Swings and misses. Big cut there from Drew Dant. Shades of the Jose Canseco 3-0 swing. And he swings and misses there as he strikes out. Baker's got his first of the day, or his second of the day, correction. And now it brings up Jake Klaposh, the right fielder. Skied into center field. Correction, left field. As the left fielder, Keanu Suarez, made the play there. Looked like he didn't really have that well or good of a beat on it. Ends up falling over, but does end up making the play.
Catcher number 22, Jake Murdoch.
So now that'll bring up Jake Murda. Still performing his duties behind the plate as he takes strike one there. As I mentioned earlier, Jacob Van Thadden is behind the plate now for Georgetown. Keanu Suarez moves to left field, so it's nice to see that they have, I'm sure that they enjoy having a little bit of a choice behind the plate, as there's strike two there to Murda. So 1-2 now to the junior out of St. Lawrence. Same high school class as Nate Maliska and Max Montgomery, his teammates, all three of them in the starting lineup today. As he swings and misses there. Great pitching from Baker so far. He's got 3 Ks on the day, and the score remains 0-0 as we head to the top of the third. We'll be right back with you after this break. Back here for the top of the third at Slammer Stadium in Joliet, Illinois. It's going to be Jacob Von Thadden at the plate. for Georgetown. 0-0 so far, only one hit in the ball game thus far. And that came from Elijah Verge, who had the double down the left field line, who was then picked off by Sean Mahalik. That was a really, really nice play. We didn't really get a chance, or I didn't really get a chance to kind of acknowledge how nice of a play that was, but he waited just long enough. He made him just, you know, or just to the right amount of uncomfortability. And Mitch Thomas ends up taking that one in right center field, but he waited till the perfect moment to turn around when he was, you know, had feet stuck in the concrete. Ended up picking him off, but that was a nice poke out to right field by Von Thadden. But now it's going to be Luis Sosa, shortstop from Chula Vista, California. Takes strike one there. Strike two there. Mahalik is up 0-2. Now, this is a guy that you don't want to be down 0-2 against if you're a hitter. And he didn't get him there. I don't know where that missed or how it missed or what, but I guess that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Misses away there. Sosa has played this year. He's appeared in 8 games. He got 19 at-bats, hitting a .158. He has struck out 3 times. So we'll see if we can get that here as he pops it into right field. Klaposh underneath it, and he's going to bring it in quickly. There are 2 away here in the top of the 3rd with Peyton Young due up for Georgetown. Saw him in game number 1. The sophomore outfielder from Crestwood, Kentucky.
Center fielder number 8, Peyton Young.
And this is his first year with Georgetown as well, just like Sosa. And he's appeared in 3 games so far. This will be his 4th. He's hitting .400 on the year. Drove in 1, he struck out twice. So very small sample sizes from all these guys so far. That one's hit right back to Mahalik. Fields it cleanly, flips it to first, and Sean Mahalik is looking at 3 clean innings here at Slammer Stadium. Score still at 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd.
Leading off the St. Francis 3rd inning, left fielder number 26, Cliff Vickers.
You heard Dave Lacetta here at Slammer Stadium. Cliff Vickers set to lead off the bottom of the 3rd for the St. Francis Fighting Saints as they look to get something going against Chad Baker, who has been absolutely rolling so far in this one. He's got 3 strikeouts, hasn't given up a hit yet, and is really looking untouchable so far. Vickers fouls that one back towards the left-hand side of the field. Lands over by the concession stands, I think. Can't tell what's over there. I haven't been to a Joliet Slammers game in quite some time, so it's probably why I'm not up to date with, you know, what is where and all that stuff. Another one fouled back right behind home plate. That one's on the street. Takes that one low, misses. So 2-2 now to Vickers. Senior from Maryville University in Missouri. That one's grounded towards the first base side, but it will remain foul. Swing and a miss. Vickers strikes out on the foul tip that Von Thadden actually ended up catching. So 4 strikeouts now for Chad Baker, and that'll bring up Brian Hidalgo, still handling the duties at shortstop for Brian Mahalick's squad. We'll see what he can get going here in this one. That one fouled. Fouled away on the right-hand side of the stadium. That one popped up. Chapman underneath it. Reins back a little bit, and he's going to bring that one in. So quickly, there are 2 away here in the bottom of the 3rd. This game moving really fast so far. Neither offense really being able to do anything. And then Max Montgomery will step up to the plate. Montgomery last year hit .356 with 16 driven in. He appeared in 32 games, started in 24 of them. He actually played more his freshman year, appeared in more games, but that was because he was a pinch runner. So we'll see what he can do here. He's hitting 100 to start this year. Might be a little down after the last game. But that's kind of what the rest of the offense is doing, the rest of the team's doing. You know, there's not a lot getting done on the offensive side of the ball. Pitchers are actually looking better than I think a lot of people would have expected, especially with a big loss. I know I keep mentioning it, but it's kind of something that's worth mentioning, the loss of Ryan Daly. So we'll see if the hitters can acclimate and get something going against Baker, who's just been cruising so far. Looks untouchable. Outside, taken for a ball. Good take there by Montgomery. Takes another ball low, so a full count now. Montgomery has worked his way back to. We'll see what he can do here if he can get on base and kind of disrupt Baker's rhythm. And he does. He takes the walk. Montgomery gets on base. And that'll bring up Mitch Thomas, the leadoff man from Shanahan, Illinois. So a runner aboard. Mitch Thomas here, one of the premier RBI men on this team. You know, he came in, he took over the center field spot that was Cliff Vickers last year. That one in the dirt. Montgomery decides to go, and he's going to end up stealing second. Great awareness by Max Montgomery to be able to take second base away from Jacob Von Thadden. So now we got a runner in scoring position here. Still 2 away, though. Count is 1-0 to Mitch Thomas. And he's going to send that one up the middle. That should score Montgomery. Mitch Thomas drives in another run, and St. Francis will take a 1-0 lead. An errant throw to the infield allows Thomas to get to second. So now St. Francis will have another man in scoring position, and a run has been driven in. So it's 1-0 here. Mitch Thomas standing on second base, and Alex Martinez is due up. Martinez has been at St. Francis for the last 3 years. Originally came from Moraine Valley Community College. Last year got injured, but prior to getting injured was putting together a really, really nice campaign, hitting .321, hitting 3 home runs, driving in 13. That ball grounded to short. Sosa fields it cleanly, fires to first, and that will be all here for the bottom of the third. But damage was done. St. Francis takes the lead on the RBI single by Mitch Thomas. Scores 1-0 as we head to the top of the fourth.
Hitter number 40, Jose Cazarola.
Jose Cazorla leads off the top of the fourth inning, and what does he do? The same thing that he did last game. And he's actually going to go to second on the error by Klapash. He couldn't get in front of the ball, but Cazorla once again standing on second base. It seems like he's been there all day today. Now it's going to bring up Keanu Suarez with a prime RBI opportunity. Not sure if the ball just got under Klapash or if he didn't see it. I don't know what the deal was there, but regardless, Cazorla standing on second base with Jarrett Chapman up, and Chapman last game didn't do too much. Great bunt there from Chapman. Mahalik fires to first. So now there's one away, but the runner is still on third base. And now it's going to be Keanu Suarez. A catcher outfielder from Apopka, Florida. This is his first year with the team. He's appeared in 9 games so far. He's actually had a really, really nice year so far this year. 2 homers, 9 RBIs. He's hitting .313, 2 doubles and a triple, with an OPS that's sitting over 1,000 right now, which is something that a lot of people really strive for. But you got to be really, really good at baseball, really good at hitting in order to have something like that as he skies that one into right field. Montgomery loses his hat, runs backward, but Klaposh calls him off. Kozarlo's going to try and tag from third. Great throw by Jake Klaposh, nails him at the plate. And now there's 2 away with, correction, that was the third out. Great throw by Jake Klaposh to minimize the scoring threat. Score stands at 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Fighting Saints lead here. All right, we're back here, bottom of the 4th inning. And Nate Maliska set to lead off for the Fighting Saints, who still hold that 1-run lead thanks to Jake Klaposh unleashing the cannon and throwing out Jose Kozarlo at the plate for the 3rd out of the top of the 4th. So now we'll see if the Fighting Saints can add to the lead that they already have on Chad Baker, who was looking really, really good to start this game. But, you know, thankfully Mitch Thomas was able to crack the code of number 14 for Georgetown and give St. Francis a 1-0 lead. As they take strike 2 there. So 0-2 to Maliska. Maliska's another guy that is just, he seems like he's been here forever with how good he has been in such a short amount of time for Brian Mahalick's team. Last year hit .339, drove in 33 runs, with an OPS that was just a little bit above an 800. But he strikes out swinging there. Chad Baker continues the dominance. Drew Dant now set to step up.
Third baseman, number 32, Drew Dant.
And we'll get to Dant's numbers from last year too, because I didn't do that as much last game as I probably should have. But Dant last year, like I said, kind of took over that role that Eric Maffey had for so long. He had 9 homers last year, hit .387, appeared in 50 games, or started in all 50 games he appeared in. He actually had an OPS over 1,100, which is very, very hard to do. An 1,100 OPS, I mean, that is almost unheard of unless your name's Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge. And Drew Dant was able to replicate exactly what Eric Maffey did, minus a couple of the home runs. But he's doing his thing here, and he's been a little cold to start this season, as has everyone else. Like I talked about earlier, it's a lot harder for the hitters to get right than it is for the pitchers to get right, just because hitters don't see live pitching until, well, they don't see live pitching on a field until well into January. So, you know, you think about it, they've only had about a month and a half to really get ready for this. But Klaposh is up now. Today he's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. I know you guys can't see it from up here, but Klaposh has one of the best mustaches I think I have ever seen on a baseball player. No, when you see a good mustache, you have to appreciate it. You know, you have to really acknowledge it and kind of trying to think of the word here. admire, that's the word I'm thinking of, as he skies one in the air to right center. Underneath it is the center fielder, Peyton Young, who makes the catch, fires it in, and just like that, the bottom of the fourth has come to a conclusion. To the fifth we go. Fighting Saints still hold that 1-0 lead. So the top of the fifth has arrived here, folks, and this game has really flown by. Jake Murda fires down to second there. But this game has really gone by really fast. It's already the fifth inning. Score is 1-0, and I was going to talk about this earlier in this game, but I compare Sean Mahalik working on the mound, compare him to a former White Sox pitcher who spent a little bit of time with the Blue Jays as well, and the Marlins too. But when you watch Sean Mahalik, you almost see shades of Mark Burley. I mean, it is just efficiency personified is really what it is. And I think that a lot of people, it's almost a lost art, being able to work that efficiently and being able to put up, the quality of work that Sean puts up. Because it's one thing to work fast but get hit around, but Sean works fast, and he really does not let people get to him when it comes to making solid contact. So I think that it's a very forgotten art in the sport of baseball. And it's nice to see that there's still people that, exemplify the efficiency that those like Mark Burley had. And, the efficiency that he worked with. But now it's Aiden Jabaris. Or Jabaris. The dugout's been giving me mixed signals all day. But Aiden Jabaris is up now. 2-2. Takes ball 3. Close, though. Good pitch. Good pitch by Mahalik. Jabara, this is his first year as well with Georgetown. He's hitting a .188 this year with a homer and 4 driven in. So he takes ball 4 there. So Jabara's aboard. That's going to bring up Elijah Verge. Verge is a sophomore outfielder from Nashville, Tennessee.
Right fielder, number 5.
And he's actually, he played last year as well, only appeared in 1 game, but this year so far, he's appeared in 7 games. He's hitting .500, and he does have a home run. He takes strike 1 there against Mahalik. And we're actually going to go through now, and I'm going to read off some of Mahalik's numbers from last year, because some of the stuff that he did really was unappreciated. So Mahalik last year carried an ERA of 3.73, appeared in 13 games, started 7 of them. So he was a bullpen guy for most of the year, just because you still had Sam Pileggi and Mac Malcheski as starters, and then that 4th day you kind of had dealer's choice when it comes to either Ethan Fleming, Jake Jerka, or Sean Mahalik. So last year Mahalik carried a 3.73 ERA across 50 2/3 innings pitched, gave up 66 hits, only fell victim to the long ball 7 times, which was nice. Opponents did hit .310 against him, but it really didn't seem like it because nothing was consistently going over the fence. So Sean Mahalik this year looking to really really boost the numbers this year. And I think strikeouts are going to be a big priority for him this year. If he can figure out the strikeout like he just did there to Elijah Verge, who's set down one away here, if he's able to add real, a good strikeout total to his arsenal, I think that's going to be really, really big for him. Last year only struck out 11 batters, and this year he's already at 8. So we're 2 appearances in, and so he's added some stuff over the offseason. You could tell the work that he's been putting in is really coming into play here. Quiet here at Slammer Stadium as Mahalik. Pickoff attempt there. No bueno. Count sits at 1-0 with Grable up to the plate now. Was a shortstop last game, handling the second base duties in this one. He's going to line one to short. Hidalgo jumps and makes a fantastic play. Brian Hidalgo making up for the error that was committed in the first inning with an amazing play there, just reaching up. Taking that one away. Would have been a base hit. Instead, there's 2 outs. Now it's going to be Jacob Von Thaden, a senior catcher from Tampa, Florida. Von Thaden last year hit .226 with the Tigers, appeared in 45 games, had 4 doubles, struck out 27 times over 133 at-bats. He did throw out 15 runners last year behind the plate. I know he's at the plate right now, but behind the dish, he did throw out 15 batters. However, 48 stolen bases were allowed as he pops that one towards the St. Francis dugout. Meliska underneath it, and he's not going to get it. Now compare his 15 runners thrown out. Correction, Jake Murda's stats for that are not listed on the USF website, so that is my apologies. I can't go any further with that information because I don't have it in front of me, and I don't know it off the top of my head. So it's pretty hard to figure something like that out on your own. That one's hit fair. I don't know how that ball ended up going fair, but Mahalik's going to flip it to Meliska at first, and that's going to be the end of the top of the 5th. We go to the bottom of 5. St. Francis still leads by a score of 1-0. So Jake Murda's up here, bottom of the 5th inning for the Fighting Saints, looking to add to this 1-run lead. Because with how some of these Georgetown guys hit last game, you know that this 1-run lead is not going to stay. So a bunt attempt on the first pitch there, fouled straight back, so count's already at 0-1. Swings and misses there too. So as I mentioned, Jake Murda last year really made a jump. In the 9 games he played in 2023 as a freshman, he hit 160. Takes a ball there. He hit 160 as a freshman, and some really not great numbers, but small sample size. So you weren't really sure what you were going to get last year. Last year he erupts for hitting 340, driving in 22. With an OPS sitting just above 900 as that one's grounded to second. Grable fields it cleanly and fires to first. Murda is retired, but just to kind of give you a sense, Jake Murda has really stepped up when they needed him most. You lose a guy like Jake Lasota, who is here forever, and you need someone to step up, especially at a position like catcher. He's been awesome behind the plate defensively. So, you know, it's just a really, really nice piece for this St. Francis team. But Cliff Vickers is now the topic of conversation as he takes a ball away. Transfer from Maryville University, originally from Naperville. Last year was his first year with the team. He hit .317, 7 home runs and 33 RBIs. He had an OPS of .894 last year. Included 1 stolen bases. That one's hit in the air to shallow left center field. Left fielder comes on and makes a nice play. That's Keanu Suarez, the catcher from last game. Makes a nice play, though, on that one. And Cliff Vickers is retired. So now it's Brian Hidalgo. Hidalgo. And this one, he's 0 for 1. Fighting Saints still only have 1 hit and are up 1-0. That was the hit by Mitch Thomas that drove in their only run of the game. And that one's lined past the shortstop Sosa, diving Sosa. And Hidalgo is going to have a single in this one. So here's Max Montgomery. Montgomery walked in his previous at-bat. Baker throws over to first, and Hidalgo not doing anything. Grounds one towards the pitcher, Baker. Going to be a tough play, but Baker handles it cleanly. And just like that, 5 innings have come and gone, folks. To the top of the 6th we go with St. Francis still leading by a score of 1-0. So first up here in the top of the 6th inning for Georgetown is going to be the shortstop, number 6, Luis Sosa.
Number 6, Luis Sosa.
His first year with Georgetown, as we mentioned. Hitting about 158 right now going into this short little 2-game series, 1-day series. I still can't really fathom that they drove up from Kentucky for 1 day worth of games just to drive back tonight, I would assume. I don't think they're going to pay for another night of staying in hotels because that stuff's expensive. And if you don't got to pay for it, why would you? Sosa fouls that one back, so it's 1-1. Looks at that one, 2-1. You can already kind of tell in the booth here, it's getting colder and colder the more that this sun goes down. A source up here in the booth said it's supposed to drop nearly 20 degrees. I don't know if I'm really excited for that. And that one's a strike. Sosa must have seen something that we don't see because that ball was right down the middle of the plate. That one's skied towards the first base line. Maliska underneath it. Has no issues with that one. And Nate Maliska has retired the first batter of this top of the 6th inning.
Center fielder, number 8, Peyton Young.
Peyton Young up now in center field today, as he was in game number 1. 0 for 2, though. Very low scoring, and I was going to say low hitting affair, but I'm not sure that that works. But that's pretty much what it was, or what it has been so far. 1-1 now to Peyton Young. Only 4 combined hits in this game so far. Sure you guys can hear the birds through the crowd mic as Peyton Young sends that one high and deep to right field. Klaposh underneath it at the track and brings it in. So 2 outs here. Mahalik moving very efficiently in this one as well with Jarrett Chapman. Correction, not Jarrett Chapman. Jose Cazorla. Or Cazorla. Cazorla.
Jose Cazorla.
Cazorla. It's like a tongue twister every time you look at it. It shouldn't be, but it's hard to say. He skies that one in the air to shallow center field. Mitch Thomas underneath it, and I think it was Max Montgomery that actually brought it in. Inefficient communication there. Mitch Thomas ended up running into Max Montgomery. Thomas is down. And he's on all 4s now, which is better. But regardless, that's the 3rd out of the inning. We're just waiting to see what the status of Thomas is right now. Trainer makes her way out there as Georgetown positional players make their way out, and looks like Thomas is up. Might have just gotten the wind knocked out of him, or a knee collided with another knee. But regardless, he's walking now, walking with Mahalik, and Hidalgo's walking with him as well. So Mitch Thomas seems to be fine, and Sean Mahalik puts up another 0. So when we come back, we will see the bottom of the 6th inning and see if St. Francis can add a little bit more to this lead that they have.
sixth inning.
So Mitch Thomas, who went down in center field just a couple of minutes ago, looks like he's good to go, and he's back up at the plate to try and get something going in these later innings against Chad Baker, who has been really good up to this point. This has been a really, really good pitcher's duel. It's like a low-scoring game in football. Some people enjoy watching a good defense, like myself. I would much rather watch a 13-10 game than a 42 to whatever game. I'm very big on defensive football, but it's kind of like watching a defensive football game. It's these, offenses can't figure anything out against some of these pitchers. And it's just cool to see how, the pitchers continue to work around it and trying to continue to set hitters down and stuff like that. Thomas had to reapply the pine tar there. I prefer a pine tar stick to the spray stuff that some of the pros use. I'm not too sure. The spray stuff, it doesn't smell as good. That one's fouled away. The spray stuff doesn't smell as good. It doesn't stick as good. The actual tiger stick of pine tar is so much better. Even the Marucci one. The Marucci one's my favorite. Swings and misses, and Thomas is set down on strikes. Chad Baker records the first out of the inning. And it's now Alex Martinez, who's 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout, still looking for that illustrious first hit of his 2025 campaign. See if he can get it here against Baker, who's been rolling. Takes one inside, nearly hits him. Strike two there, or strike one there to Alex Martinez. I was going to call him Amar because that's what the dugout calls him, but just realized you guys don't know who Amar is. Swings and misses at an outside fastball. So he's down 1-2. One away here in the bottom of the sixth. Ball misses outside. 2-2. And that one is lined into center field. Martinez has his first base hit of this 2025 campaign. And now he's aboard with only one away, with Nate Maliska stepping up to the plate. Maliska in this one 0 for 2 so far as the everyday first baseman for this St. Francis squad. So we'll see what he can do here. Fouled back towards me. Oh. Lucky souvenir for whoever goes out there in this cold weather. Not going to be me, but strike two there. I don't know about that one, Blue. It was close. Great framework, though, by Jacob Von Thaden. Kind of what that comes down to. Maliska ends up grounding one to Baker on the mound. Baker comes off the mound, fields it cleanly, fires to first. Baker was walking a little bit nimble there. I wonder if he might have done something to his toe. But I can't tell. He looks good to go, though. Well, maybe a timeout here. Looks like we're going to be getting a pinch runner here for Alex Martinez. It's going to be Alex Milcars.
Now pitch running over at second number 13, Alex Milcars.
So with Martinez exiting this one, Milcars will take over the DH duties that Alex Martinez was handling, unless, of course, Coach Mahalik, my apologies, decides to go to a pinch hitter around the time that Milcars is due up. But for now, he's in. And now Drew Dant lines one into right field. Milcars being waved around. It's going to be a close play. Offline throw, and Milcars is in. It's 2-0 Fighting Saints. So they finally get to Chad Baker here in the bottom of the 6th inning, and they now have a 2-run cushion with Jake Klaposh coming up. Great at bat by Drew Dant. Great hit, great situational awareness, too, to shoot it to the right side as to make that throw as hard as it possibly could have been. That one's a strike. That one misses low to Klaposh. So 1-1 is the count. 2 away here. Drew Dant standing on first base. That one is grounded to first. And Jabara not going to do anything with that one. So 1-2 is the count. Swing and a miss. Klaposh having a rough day at the plate. He goes down swinging, and just like that, 6th inning is over. To the top of the 7th we go. Fighting Saints add to their lead on the RBI single from Drew Dant. Score right now is 2-0 Fighting Saints. So Sean Mahalik stays out there for the 7th inning. It's going to be Jared Chapman is the one to greet him as we head into the latter parts of this ball game here. St. Francis leads by a score of 2-0. 6 total hits in this one, so not exactly a barn burner, as some people would have hoped. But nonetheless, the Fighting Saints are on top right now, and we'd like to keep it that way as we head to the final championship rounds of this one. Mahalik misses there, 2-1 or 1-1. Strike there, so 1-2. Great pitch there by Mahalik, but barely fouled off by Chapman. So 1-2 to the Tigers' third baseman. St. Francis looking to get the bats back up to the plate. That one's skied in the air to right field. Klaposh backpedaling, and he's going to bring that one in. So there's one away here in the top of the seventh, and it's going to be Keanu Suarez. 0 for 2 in this one. Now, nobody on this Georgetown team has really seen Mahalik that well. They haven't really been able to do anything offensively. Kind of like everyone else that has faced Mahalik over the course of the last 2 years. You know, you think you see everything well, but you can't get good contact. And in turn, can't get anything going if you can't make good contact. Now we're grounded towards the third base line, but it will be a foul ball. I think I'm going to get a nice chicken sandwich after this game. Not sure that the cafe is going to be open, you know, for actual dinner food, so might have to go for a sandwich. Montgomery fumbles the grounder a little bit, but fires to first and cannot retire Keanu Suarez. So one away, there's still a runner, or there's now a runner on first base. A little bit of a fumble there by Montgomery. So another error from St. Francis. They have 3 in this game. Just not a clean game of baseball whatsoever. Swing and a miss. Big hack there from Jabara. Suarez not getting too far off the bag. Now he's taking some extra steps there. Grounded to short. Hidalgo can't field it. Another misplayed ball by this St. Francis middle infield. I'm not sure he had to play at first anyways, just because of how far over that ball was pulling him, but still. Off-speed pitch to start the at-bat. 1-0 to Elijah Verge. Verge in this one is 1 for 2. That one shot back up the middle, and that is likely going to score a runner. Suarez scores, and this one, the lead has been cut in half. 2-1 now is the score. St. Francis still leads Georgetown, but it's getting scarier and scarier. There's no action in that St. Francis bullpen, so we'll see who ends up going down there. And as I say it, someone runs down to the bullpen. We'll see who it is once we get more information, but there is a mound visit there. No, it's cool moments like this that a lot of people take for granted, or they don't really think about, but the mound visits between, you know, a father and a son, especially in Little League, when you're you don't really think too much of it. It's just another mound visit, just something that kind of happens as part of baseball. But when you're able to do it as a dad and a son, it's really, really cool. I think that they're going to look back on stuff like that, especially the last time that they were able to do that, which will be at the end of this year. I think that they're going to look back on it and just be glad that they got 4 or 5 more years of it. Than most people do, especially once high school is done. There's only 7% of people that go on to play college baseball. So just being able to take care of or take advantage of moments like that and cherish them like that, it's a really, really cool thing to be a part of. First pitch there misses low. This is a pinch hitter for Chase Grable. Or Cole Grable, my apologies. This is Garrett Thurman. We saw him in game 1 as well. That one misses too. There's a strike from Mahalik. So down in the bullpen, it looks like Zach Blazekovic is getting loose down there. Blazekovic was the back end of the bullpen guy for the Fighting Saints for the last couple of seasons. Pickoff attempt there by Mahalik is no good. But Blazekovic, this will be his second appearance of the young season. First appearance, he went one scoreless inning down in Freed Hardman. So we'll see what he does. If head coach Brian Mahalik does end up giving him the ball here in the bottom of the 7th, it's a lot earlier than when he normally comes in. So here's the 2-2 from Mahalik to Thurman. Got him! Sean Mahalik notches his 4th strikeout of the day. And now there's 2 away, so that threat at second base is minimized just a little bit. And another pinch hit for Jacob Von Fadden. So 2 pinch hitters in a row. And this is going to be number 26. This is going to be Edgar Barrario. Or Barrero, my apologies. They're going to pinch hit him with chance to tie this ball game up here in the bottom of the top of the 7th, which would prove to be a wild ending. Not sure how that one missed. I'm not going to comment on it, but not sure. Not sure at all. Look good from up here, but what do I know? I'm just a dude in a booth. That one misses high. So 2-1's the count to Barrero. Swings and misses, 2-2. Big pitch here from Sean Mahalik. And he comes set. There's the 2-2 from 23. Another one fouled back towards me, and that's another ball that they will not be getting back right now because the door to my left is locked and nobody's getting out there. So we've lost 2 balls there so far. Hopefully that's the last one that we lose today. So we'll redo the 2-2. Close pitch, but missed just a bit outside, maybe a bit low. Count runs full. There's the 3-2 pitch from Mahalik. Pickoff attempt. No good. You know, it's a full count. I don't know why a pickoff attempt was the move there. I didn't think you really needed to worry about him. Just got to worry about the batter right now. So we'll do the 3-2 again. Sean Mahalik comes set. A deep breath. And he kicks and delivers. Misses outside, so we'll see what manager Brian Mahalik decides to do here. Blazekowicz is warm down in that bullpen. See what he ends up doing. It looks like he's going to leave him out there to face Nolan Smith.
Your attention, pinch hitting, number 31, Nolan Smith.
Nolan Smith pinch hitting. He started in game 1. This is his first at bat in this one, and he sends one into center. Thomas coming in, and he's not going to be able to get it. 1 run's going to score, and here comes the second. So 2 runs will score. That'll be the end of the inning. But Georgetown ends up taking the lead 3-2. Here in the top of the 7th. So Nolan Smith comes off the bench and does a job. And the score is now 3-2 as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. So in a wild turn of events, the Fighting Saints looked like they were cruising on their way to a 2-0 victory. I know that we were only in the 7th inning, but still looking like they were cruising to their first win of the season here. But a 3 spot in the top of the 7th from Georgetown has turned this into a come-from-behind game for the Fighting Saints. And Jake Murder's the first one up to try and get something going. He sends one into right field, Verge underneath it, and he's going to bring it in for the first out of the inning. So we're in the same situation as last game. You start counting down the outs now once you get to the 7th inning. And at this point, they only have 8 more to work with. They're down by 1, so this is probably the most ideal situation for the Fighting Saints. You're only down by 1. You've touched up this pitcher. You've touched up the pitcher before, so you know that you can see him. You know that you can hit him. You just have to actually, you just actually have to actually do it. It's a lot easier said than done. Fouled straight back. So it's quickly 0-2 on Vickers. Vickers in this one, he's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. That one misses high. 1-2. That's the second time in this series that we have seen a ball get away from the bullpen catchers down there in that Georgetown bullpen. Might need some new bullpen catchers. That one misses outside. So 2-2, much more favorable count for Vickers than 0-2. Swings and misses, but drop third strike rule is going to hopefully allow Vickers to be safe at first here, and he is. So a runner aboard at first now for the Fighting Saints with one out in the inning. And we got Brian Hidalgo coming up with Max Montgomery in the on-deck circle.
Shortstop, number 21, Brian Hidalgo.
Hidalgo 1 for 2 today with the single up the middle. Swings and misses at the first pitch of the at-bat. Baker's lucky that he didn't make contact with that pitch because that ball might have gone all the way to Shanahan. And there's strike two, so quickly down in an 0-2 hole is Hidalgo. That one's fouled back towards us. One skied into right field. Verge going back. He's at the warning track. And he made the catch, but I don't think Vickers knew he made the catch, and he's going to get doubled up. Fighting Saints are spoiled. Yeah, Vickers just kept going and then realized that he caught the ball, and it was too late by that point. So the Fighting Saints lose the opportunity to bring in a score and tie this game up, and the score remains at 3-2. We'll go to the top of the eighth where Zach Blazekovich is now in for the Fighting Saints, and a look to keep Georgetown at bay. Blazekovich did tally a strikeout. So first batter that he will face is going to be Peyton Young. That one misses, so 1-1 is the count now. Outside paint. Blazekovich is up 1-2. Looking for a clean inning here. Doing anything that they can to keep this score at bay. Blazekovich snaps a slider there. And it's fouled away by Peyton Young. And there's the slider again. Hidalgo just over the head of the shortstop. Looked like he wanted to make that play, but just unfortunately wasn't 7 foot tall with a 45-inch vert. So runner aboard on first is Peyton Young. And now he's got to face Jose Cazorla. I said his name wrong again. I know I did. Cazorla. There we go. I got it. Cazorla. Jose Cazorla. Cazorla's 1 for 3 on the day. He's DHing in this one. Does have the double. That one's popped up towards shallow right near second base. Montgomery's going to make the play. So runner stays at first. It's going to be Jarrett Chapman now. 0 for 2 is the third baseman. Looking to build on this lead to keep this one out of reach.
Number 2, Jarrett Chapman.
Pickoff attempt there by Blazekovic. That one misses outside, so 2-0. Or correction, 1-0 to Chapman. Young gets his lead at first. Misses outside there. Young's going to round second. He's not going to go any further. And we'll see what Blazekovic can do here. He's got 1 out. And he's only down 2-0 to Chapman. 3-0, you might have a little bit of concern, but 2-0 is still not awful to deal with. It's not ideal, but it's not awful. And there's strike 1. Great pitch there from Blazekovic. The man they call Blaze. Swings and misses. Does Chapman. So 2-2 now. And this count just became a lot more favorable for Blazekovic. Misses away, tries to get him with that slider and just snapped it a little bit too late. Good pitch there from Blazekovic, but Chapman stays alive, fouls it back. So we'll do the 3-2 again. Big pitch here. There's already an arm warming down in the St. Francis bullpen. Grounder to short. Hidalgo fields it cleanly, fires to third. Smart play there. And he looked like he tried to do a little spin move there, did Peyton Young, but it didn't work. Drew Dant applies the tag, and just like that, there's 2 away here with now a runner at first. So threat has been neutralized for now. Keanu Suarez now up. 0 for 3 is the left fielder. Close there, but nice pitch from from Blazekovic. 1-0. Pickoff attempt there from Blazekovic. Does not amount to anything, so count remains at 1-1. We'll see what he pulls out of his bag of tricks here. Runner goes, but is a foul ball, so he will have to take the jog back to first base. Count moves to 1-1 here in the top of the 8th. This is low and away, so 2-1's the count. Chapman slides back into first. Thought Murder was going to fire a back pick down there. Swing and a miss. So 2-2 is the count now. He can go anywhere now. You got his eyes looking inside now. You wonder if he's going to snap off the slider or just go back to it. We'll see what he does. Another pickoff attempt, so that's the second one. He can't go over there again. Runner goes. Fouled away. 2-2 is the count. Count is even at 2-2. Blazekovic looking for this crucial third out. And he got him with the slider. Zach Blazekovic sets him down and keeps the damage at a minimum. Score is 3-2 going to the bottom of the 8th, where we see if the Fighting Saints can try to tie this one up. Crowd noise comes back, you know that it's time To get back to the action here at Slammer Stadium in Joliet, Illinois, Max Montgomery set to lead off the bottom of the 8th for the Fighting Saints, and I think the bottom line is they just need a run. That is all that you need here is one singular run. New pitcher on the mound for Georgetown. Ground ball to third base, fielded cleanly by Chapman. Fires to first, and that will be all for Max Montgomery. But the pitcher now on the mound for Georgetown is going to be Mason Mortimer, a senior left-handed pitcher from Lexington, Kentucky.
Center fielder, number 12,
Mitch Thomas. Thomas takes strike one there. One for 3 on the day is Thomas with an RBI. Swings and misses there. And now he's down 1-2. Takes one low and inside. So count moves to 2-2. Fights that one off, and it's going to be a fair ball. Mitch Thomas is going to have himself another base hit. So that was a more convincing fair ball call than we saw in the first game. So glad that there's no argument there for that one. And it's going to be Alex Milcars getting the at-bat here for the Fighting Saints.
number 13, Alex Milcars.
Swings at the first pitch he sees and fouls it back right over the dugout. Milcars is the senior out of Oswego, Illinois, and some would describe him as really the Swiss Army knife for this team. He can play everywhere, pinch runs, and he's really done good work in the opportunities that he's been given. This year he's started in 1 game, he's played in 3. However, he's only got 4 at-bats, has not registered a hit. Last year hit 240 appearances. Had 2 triples last year. And there's a ground ball to third. Chapman fields it cleanly. Fires to second. He's safe at second. And Milcars beats out the throw at third. So it's going to be first and second here. This game just got a little bit more interesting. You got 2 people that can run on first and second. And now you got Nate Maliska coming up to hopefully tie this ball game up at 3. We'll see what happens here.
First baseman, number 31, Nate Maliska.
Maliska's 0 for 3 in this game so far. Has struck out once, but you look in that on-deck circle, if you're a St. Francis fan, you like what you see. High pitch there. Ground ball to first. It's going to be a foul ball. Not sure they would have gotten 2 there anyway, but grounder to first. Jabara fires to second. They get the out at second. Maliska is safe at first, though, so the inning is still alive with Drew Dant now coming up to the plate. Danton has been the RBI man for this team today. Had 1 in this game, 2 last game. Mortimer comes set. First pitch to Dant. Swings at the first pitch, but it's going to be a wild pitch. Thomas is going to end up scoring. It's 3-3 now. So it might not have been the style or the fashion in which they thought they were going to score, but nonetheless, it is 3-3 with a chance to add to the lead, or a chance to take the lead here. Swings and hits it into right field. Maliska's going to get the wave around. Slides in. Catcher doesn't have the ball, and Nate Maliska is going to take the lead for the Fighting Saints. Drew Dant once again comes through for the Fighting Saints, and they have taken the lead here in the bottom of the 8th. Drew Dant, remember the name, folks. Maliska looked like he was gunned down at the plate, but I guess the catcher didn't have the ball.
Your attention now running over at second base for the Saints. Number 4, Ethan Fleming.
So we got a pinch runner at second base now. It's going to be Ethan Fleming, who we normally see on the mound, but here he's going to be on second base, and he's going to represent, well, we'll call it a security run. That's what he's going to represent. So we'll see if Klaposh can overcome some of the struggles that he's had so far today and see if he can drive Fleming in from second base. Be a huge score. Swings at the first pitch he sees, and it's caught by Jabara. So that'll be it here for the bottom of the 8th, but the Fighting Saints have taken the lead by a score of 4-3 as we head to the top of the 9th as the Fighting Saints look for their first win of this 2025 campaign. We'll be back right after the break. Top of the 9th with a chance to shut this door in the face of Georgetown College to split the Sunday series at 1 apiece. The Fighting Saints send out Zach Blazekowicz to continue what he started in the 8th inning. And the first task is going to be the first baseman, Aiden Jabara. He's going to take strike one. And that one's lined into right field. Going to be a base hit. Klaposh fields it, gets it in quickly, so he's stuck at first, but a base hit. So now it's going to be Elijah Verge, who we have seen a lot of today. He's 2 for 3 in this one. Not the guy you want to see in this situation. Nice pitch there from Blazekowicz as he gets strike one. Misses with that one, so 1-1's the count to Verge. Fouls that one back, so he's got a 2-strike count now with the arsenal that Blazekowicz has. It'd be nice to see a strikeout here. We'll see what catcher Jake Mert ends up throwing down. Pickoff attempt there. No good. Tries to get him to reach at that one, but it won't do the job. 2-2 now to Verge. Close there. Doesn't get the call from the umpire there, so it's going to be 3-2, making him work for everything in this inning. Verge set at the plate. Blazekowicz comes set on the mound. And here comes the full count. Skied into center field. Thomas goes back. He's going to make the catch. Jabara retreats to first, and there's one away here in the top of the 9th inning as Blazekowicz looks for his first save of this young campaign.
Second baseman, number 11, Cole Grable.
Cole Grable, the second baseman in this one, 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. Another pickoff attempt, so they're worried about Jabbar going over there. Maybe they're just, worrying about keeping him honest. Grounds one to third. It's going to be a foul ball, though. Great pitch there from Blazekowicz. 0-2. Got him swinging. Blazekowicz sets another Tiger down. There are now 2 outs here.
Catcher number 10, Jacob Von Thaden.
With Jacob Von Thaden due up with a runner on first base. Blazekowicz now needs to only set one more man down to secure the first win of this campaign for the Fighting Saints. And Von Thaden swings and misses at the first pitch of his at-bat. Skied in the air to left center. Vickers underneath it. And he brings it in. The Fighting Saints have won their first game of 2025. And Zach Blazekowicz has recorded his first save along with the first win of his campaign. Great game by the Fighting Saints. Great resilience by St. Francis. Something that, you don't really know a team has until they're faced with struggles. And we saw it here today. These guys have the ability to fight back when adversity is in their face. So after this break, we'll break down the game for you, give you the winning pitch or the losing pitcher, and then we will send you out of here. Final score 4-3 from Slammer Stadium in Joliet, Illinois. The Fighting Saints split the Sunday series with Georgetown College 1-1. We look forward to Tuesday when Fighting Saints play Roosevelt, Wednesday when they host Indiana University Kokomo. But like I said, we will get into that after this break. Fighting Saints win 4-3. So your final score from Dooley Health and Care Field, 4-3. St. Francis picks up their first win of the 2025 campaign. We're going to go through some of the stats here just to give you something to go home with. So the winning pitcher in this one is going to be Zach Blazekowicz. Although Sean Mahalik did start the game for St. Francis, 7 innings pitched, gave up 3 runs, none of them earned, striking out 4 and walking 2. Starting for Georgetown was Chad Baker. He, too, threw 7 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, struck out 9. So nice day on the mound for him, something to take home. And then, like I mentioned, Zach Blazekowicz did end up with the win and ended up with the save. Both firsts for him in this 2025 season. And the losing pitcher for Georgetown is going to be Mason Mortimer. He threw 1 inning, gave up 2 earned runs, and there were the 2 earned runs that ended up giving St. Francis the win. At the plate, St. Francis, Mitch Thomas had 2 hits. Alex Martinez had 1. Drew Dant had 2, and Brian Hidalgo had 1 as well. RBIs, Drew Dant had 2, and Mitch Thomas had 1 driven in. For Georgetown, Peyton Young had a hit along with Jose Cazorla. Aiden Jabara and Elijah Verge both had hits. Elijah Verge actually had 2 hits, and then Nolan Smith had the hit that drove in 2. to make things look bleak for the University of St. Francis, but the boys came out on top. So we will see St. Francis next at home on Tuesday, actually, when they host Roosevelt for a game that was supposed to be played last Wednesday. Instead got moved to 2 days from now on Tuesday. So Slammer Stadium will host Roosevelt on Tuesday, followed by another home game on Wednesday against Indiana University Kokomo before the boys ship out to Georgia for their spring break trip. Thanks for joining me through this one. I'm Jake DiLorenzo, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you guys again on Tuesday when the Fighting Saints look to pick up their second win of the year against the Roosevelt squad that has jumped to the Division II ranks. It is sure to be a good one, as it always has been in the past. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one.